た
Hello everybody, Megazard X here, and I'm back at it again to give y'all another exciting video. And this time I'm going to be actually reviewing the first ever Pokemon anime episode review that I'm ever had done on this channel. And I'm going to be reviewing the brand new series called Pocket Monsters 2019. Yeah, that title, I know what some of y'all might be thinking, that title, like what in the world has this community have decided? And it was kind of rough because, matter of fact, that Japan just flat out called it Pocket Monsters, or what we think of as Pokemon, and it's like, okay, well, how are we going to call this? And I think, the community as a whole just said, you know what, we're just going to call it Pocket Monsters 2019. So that's the title I'm going to be rolling with for all of these episode reviews though. But the plan is with these reviews is I'm going to leave it short, simple, and sweet. And these episode reviews, I'm going to try to target them and try to, review the whole entire episode real quick in under these 5 minutes. So I already got the timer rolling right now though. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive up into this first episode review over Pikachu is Born. So within this first episode, I have got to say, I got hats off to the Pokemon Company for thinking about this episode as like an origin story to kind of get episodes kind of starting off. As we might have thought about these kind of questions before with Pikachu in the past, like, was he actually a Pichu back in the day? Because, originally within Gen 1, we didn't have the thought of baby Pokemon. So, if you had a Pikachu, you had a Pikachu and that was it. So we didn't know exactly, was this dude actually a Pichu beforehand or a Pikachu? But no, within this first episode, they established that. And it was really sweet to kind of go throughout this episode and kind of see how, Pichu was managing on his own. And we figured out that it was basically Kangaskhan's mother that basically helped raise Pichu from it being so young. And they also had like a baby Kangaskhan, in the pouch as well. And the baby Kangaskhan as well as Pichu were getting on, quite well. And it was just really nice to see those interactions between the two. You just kind of sort of relate with Pichu as he was kind of growing up, from him basically being like a super kind of babyish to as you got to see, later in the episode, as he started to get bigger and you noticed that, hey, I can't stay here anymore. But also while this all entire, Pikachu backstory is also going on, you got to see a little bit with Ash and how he was a younger kid at the time. And he also wanted to go over here and try to, attend a Pokemon camp that Professor Oak was hosting. And, Ash's mother was like, okay, you can go there, but hey, you're gonna have to wake yourself up because, hey, you can't be oversleeping, and leave it up to Ash. We knew what we were kind of expecting. And then at the Pokemon camp, we actually get to see Koharu as well as Go be able to make their first debut, and they were all little kids and they were attending the camp, and they were saying, hey, we're missing one other person, but we knew that was Ash and he was basically sleeping in, so he missed out. But anyway, as Professor Oak was basically giving the whole class the tour and everything, Go managed to spot a Mew kind of far off in the distance. And, Go essentially kind of ran after him. Koharu was like, man, this is the reason why you don't have any friends, dude. You can't, pay attention. You can't listen. You're trying to be the, smart aleck and all of that stuff, trying to outdo everybody else. You just got to be content with yourself. But, Go is kind of this, he can't stay still for like a single moment. So throughout this whole entire episode, you got to see more of his character within that regard. But anyway, so they went off to go ahead and chase down this Mew, and we got to see Mew basically, transform and basically kind of use like that copycat move where, because Mew has all those genes of all the different kind of Pokemon, as Professor Oak said in the episode, Mew can be able to transform or basically almost use any kind of move that any other Pokemon can use. And that's why the reason why Mew is basically found within a jungle, but because of those characteristics, it's very hard for any other human really to be able to spot that Mew. But instantly, when Go saw that Mew, he knew that, hey, that's the Mew that I want to get. And whenever I'm a Pokemon trainer, whenever I'm able to hit 10 and be able to have my first Pokemon, that's my goal, is to obtain Mew. And it was really nice to kind of see him, kind of establish his dream early on, super early on within the episode. And then bouncing back over here to the Pikachu thing, thankfully, because, one of the baby Kangaskhan's managed to escape, and, it was kind of chasing after Mew, but thankfully, Mew saved it, and Koharu and Go actually noticed this at the same exact time. And through all of this, it was really nice to see how Pichu was able to find his little buddy friend and was able to go back safely to their Kangaskhan mother. And, time started passing by, and, Pichu was starting to get a little bit bigger, and he noticed that, hey, I can't stay here forever. It was nice, having all these fun with you, mother, and essentially like his little brother. But hey, the time has come where I gotta go. And it was through this maximum happiness that Pichu had that basically motivated him enough to where his happiness was maxed. to where he actually managed to evolve into a Pikachu. You got to see him looking down at that pool of water below him at his feet. And it was really interesting to see, how Pichu managed to evolve into Pikachu as the Pikachu we know today. And then we saw Pikachu basically, saying, waving goodbye, and then he took off. And then you had the time skip jump to where, Pikachu was able to get attained by Ash whenever he turned 10 years old. And essentially that's it for the whole entire prologue episode. So overall, it was really nice and really heart-touching and heartwarming to be able to see, Pichu's backstory and actually start off with something completely fresh up. Not a lot of us might have been thinking in the back of our minds, but it was nice to actually see some official confirmation of how Pikachu got to the point of where it was beyond the original first episode that was way back within the first original Pokemon episode 1. So other than that, that is about it for my episode review. That was roughly almost about 5 minutes. It was pretty close. And that's all I have to say about this episode. So make sure down in the comment section down below, let me know exactly what you thought about this first episode review. Did you really like it? Or did you think that, did that really pull on the heartstrings a little bit for you whenever this showcase all Pichu and his backstory and how he managed to evolve into a Pikachu and how he had that family relationship with the Kangaskhan mother and basically his Kangaskhan brother as well though. But yeah, that's about it for this review. So make sure to tune in next time for my episode 2 review. On Lugia they go, Ash and Go. So remember, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.